Ever felt like you're simultaneously hitting the gas and the brakes? That internal conflict, that invisible wall holding you back, is far more powerful than you realize. It's not a lack of willpower, smarts, or resources. It's your deeply ingrained belief system. Think of it as an outdated operating system, running in the background, silently dictating your decisions, habits, and reactions. It's a program installed long ago, built from childhood lessons about what's possible and impossible, right and wrong, accepted without question. How many times have you vowed to start exercising, quit a soul-crushing job, or save for a life-altering trip, only to fall back into old patterns? You're not failing, you're simply following a script you didn't write. I remember Wendy from England bringing her reluctant 24-year-old son to a seminar in Phoenix. Her powerful statement, devoid of blame but brimming with clarity, struck me. I know he needs this, because I'm the one who programmed him wrong. She understood that his fear, paralysis, and self-sabotage stemmed from beliefs she'd unwittingly instilled. Consider this. How many of your own insecurities, anxieties, your struggles with public speaking, money management, or relationships are echoes of your childhood programming? How many limiting beliefs like money doesn't grow on trees, life is hard, or you can't have it all still resonate as unshakable truths? Science confirms that over 95% of our daily actions are automatic, unconscious, including financial decisions, relationships, and even how we perceive the world. Your limitations aren't a lack of intelligence, they're invisible viruses, perpetuating cycles of scarcity and self-sabotage. Willpower alone is like a flashlight in a dark forest, briefly effective, then swallowed by the shadows. You need to reprogram the forest itself. When I started my transformation, I was scrubbing floors, knowing nothing about business, personal development, or even the law of attraction. But I listened to an audio program. The Most Extraordinary Secret, repeatedly, daily, breaking through the autopilot, whispering amidst the chaos. You can achieve more. You already have what you need. The truth is, everything you need is within you, but it needs to be awakened, reprogrammed. That nagging inner voice whispering, you can't, you're not good enough. This isn't for you. That's not you. That's your belief system fighting to keep you static, thriving on repetition, dying when you think differently. Consciousness and conscious repetition are key. Watching a video once won't cut it. Just as a muscle needs consistent training, your mind needs repeated new commands. That's why so many revert to their starting point. They try to change sporadically, but a system built over years doesn't alter easily. Observe yourself. How do you react to money, to success? Do you feel guilty for wanting more, inferior to those who have more? Does wealth seem incompatible with your values? That's all programming. If you don't rewrite the code, it will keep running, leading you to the same places, the same results year after year. I've known brilliant executives with impressive degrees and stellar careers trapped in self-limiting patterns, not from lack of ability but from obeying a subconscious program of scarcity. It took me years to realize that my obstacle wasn't my circumstances, but my conditioning. Once you grasp that, regression becomes impossible. What's operating within you, unseen? Stop, observe, question. You're not blocked by lack of ability, you're stuck in an invisible program. The good news, if it's programmable, it's reprogrammable. That's the key, the door, the turning point. Will you continue running the same program, or will you take control, rewriting your story? Many wait for permission to act, for the perfect moment, the right resources, their children to grow up, external validation. This waiting is an illusion, a justification for inaction. I learned that the only requirement for a decision is desire. Simple, even naive. But that simplicity is deceptive because we're conditioned to act only under favorable conditions, a delusion. Have you noticed that major decisions aren't made at perfect moments? We act on an inner impulse, and that's enough. I remember Phil Goldfine at a critical juncture in an undervalued, underpaid, dead-end job, frustrated and lost, yet yearning for more. I told him, "Do exactly what I say and your life will change." He did, and today he has an Oscar, not because of the answers, but because of the decision. Deciding isn't logical, it's vibrational. A powerful decision shifts your mental frequency, attracting resources, people, and opportunities previously inaccessible. It's like tuning a radio, surrounded by your favorite songs. On the wrong frequency, there's only static. The station only changes when you change the dial. Life is the same. Want abundance? Tune into its frequency. That shift happens the instant you decide. A genuine decision causes discomfort. It hurts. It breaks patterns. Many quit before they start, because a true decision disrupts everything around you, creating questions, fear, and insecurity. Remember, that's normal. There's no growth without discomfort. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Lives don't expand without ruptures. You might think, I don't have the money, the time, the kids. I understand, I hear it constantly, but I've also heard, I had nothing, only willpower. And that willpower moved mountains. Steve Jobs, dropping out of college with no guarantees, decided to create something that would change the world, and he did. On the other hand, brilliant people with degrees, connections, and resources never moved, waiting for the perfect moment, which never came. Desire is the only requirement. You don't need to know how or see the entire path, just take the first step, like crossing a bridge in the fog. You can't see the end, but you know the direction, and each step reveals the next. How many times have you stopped yourself because you didn't know how, letting ideas die for lack of certainty? People who progress most quickly decide fast and change slowly. They don't overanalyze. They feel, decide, and act because they know what they want. With clarity of purpose, there are no justifications. You just act. The decision must be irrevocable, not, I'll try for a while, but I'll do this until I succeed. When you decide like that, the universe realigns, opening doors, attracting the right people, flowing with ideas and opportunities, not through magic, but because you've shifted from the frequency of maybe to this is it. That's the difference between a mediocre and an extraordinary life, between being tossed by the winds or charting your own course, between surviving and thriving. How many dreams have been buried by indecision? How many people have died full of regret, postponing what they desired? I've seen it countless times. Intelligent, capable, passionate people stuck waiting for the perfect condition, which doesn't exist. You create the condition. Stop and think. What do you truly desire? Not what's expected, what's safe, but what ignites your heart. You know what it is. Maybe you're afraid to admit it. Maybe you've buried it for years, but it's there whispering until you decide. Will you keep waiting, or will you decide now? After all, the only thing necessary is to truly want it. You think about wealth, but worry about debt. You crave freedom, but feel trapped. You desire love, but feel unworthy. Your desires are useless if your thoughts are on a different frequency. You can desire something with all your heart, but if you think and act like someone in scarcity, you'll remain in the same place, because your reality isn't created by what you desire, but by what you vibrate, and thought is vibration. Thoughts are waves of energy, constantly shaping your reality. Your mind is an antenna, emitting and receiving signals, the universe responding at the frequency emitted. Thinking about fear, doubt, and worry attracts them. Many live in repetition. They want something new but think as they always have, vibrating at the frequency of the problem. On the wrong radio station, you don't hear the music you want. On the wrong frequency, the wrong music will play. I saw this with Captain Edgar Mitchell, Apollo astronaut, who conducted experiments transmitting thoughts from the moon. Data proves the transfer of thoughts across distances. It's not theory, it's science. If a thought can travel through space and reach someone on the moon, what can it do in your life? Ever thought intensely about someone, and they called? That's not coincidence. It's frequency, resonance. The connection happened on the same vibrational band. The same applies to money, success, fulfillment. Everything already exists, but at a higher frequency. Without raising your frequency, you won't have access, no matter how hard you try. Think like someone who already possesses what you desire. Feel, act, react as if you're already living it. The universe responds to your vibration, not your desire. Neuroscience proves that vividly imagining something activates the same neural circuits, the the flow of dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, shaping your physiology, energy, and mind as if it were real. Athletes and CEOs use visualization because the mind creates before the body. Vibration precedes manifestation. How have you been thinking lately? Do you vibrate in scarcity, fear, worry, or in abundance, courage, and faith? Thinking about what you don't want fuels it. I don't want to run out of money. You're already on the frequency of lack. But if you say, I choose to prosper, I decide to grow, I deserve freedom, you begin to ascend, to change the dial. When you change the dial, everything happens, not because the world changed, but because you changed the station. I've experienced this many times, like when I decided to go to England with no money, no contacts, but with the desire, visualizing myself in London, speaking and feeling as if I were already there. The money, the opportunities, and the contacts appeared, not through force, but because I entered the frequency of the desired. The secret is, what you want already exists on another frequency. You'll only access it by thinking, feeling, and acting differently. Enter the mental state of the desired. Speak, walk, look, decide like someone who already lives it. Reality changes from the inside out, from vibration to form. Thinking as you think today, you will live what you live today. Change doesn't start outside, but in what you think, feel, and repeat daily. This power is stronger than you imagine. By changing your frequency, you change your life. Many live as extras in the background of the scene, waiting for external action, something to change everything. But it's your life, your movie, and you were born to be the protagonist. No one taught you this. We were shaped to follow, obey, adapt. Dreaming big was arrogance, desiring more, selfishness, stepping out of line, disrespect. You shrunk yourself, accepting, fitting in, until you woke up and realized your life was moving but not in the desired direction. Have you felt that? Like something was crying out for help, like you were betraying yourself daily, living a life that doesn't represent you. The problem isn't not knowing what you want, but the fear of taking ownership, of standing out, of disappointing others, because when you change, you force others to change, and they resist. They don't resist your happiness, but the impact on their lives. How many times have you shared a plan and received negative responses? Are you really going to quit your job? That won't work. Are you sure? It's not malice, it's fear. Fear of seeing you go to a place they don't dare to go. When you grow, you disrupt the balance of others' lives, and you might be pulled back not out of malice, but because it's easier to keep you in the old pattern than to face your absence. If you're not firm, you'll give in, return, adjust, be silent, accept, until it becomes unbearable. Have you been at that point where something screamed, enough, and yet you remained? Life will test you until it proves you're ready, placing people to doubt you, situations to delay you, circumstances to discourage you, not out of cruelty, but for you to prove yourself, to show that you're the protagonist, even when everything indicates the opposite. You are the screenwriter, the director, the lead actor, yet you're waiting for applause from uninterested audiences, begging for approval from those who don't pay the price of your journey, adapting your script to the taste of others, while your heart rots. I saw this in a bartender for 15 years, an excellent professional, full of energy and beloved, yet with a dream, to open a doggy daycare, something that made her eyes shine, giving meaning to her life. The problem was her high salary with tips. Leaving meant giving up security and stability. She was stuck for months, years, until she decided, without knowing how, without guarantees, with fear. It worked. She allowed herself to be who she always was, and the world adjusted. How many times have you postponed a decision because you didn't want to disappoint, swallowing your will out of fear of judgment? Did you finally reach your goal? Let's be clear. Prioritizing yourself isn't selfish. Expecting others to do it for you, that's selfish. Taking the reins of your life isn't just about transforming yourself. It's about inspiring others to do the same. It won't be easy. Criticism and doubt will come your way. But ultimately, it's not what others think that matters, it's your achievements and growth. You weren't born to follow a straight line. You were born to expand, progress, and unleash your full potential. It all starts with letting go of the need for external validation and writing your own story. Most people stay in the audience, paralyzed by the fear of stepping into the spotlight. But think about it. Epic stories are born when the hero acts, despite fear, uncertainty, and the unknown. You've spent too long watching your own life from the sidelines, admiring others' successes, believing them to be unattainable. They're not. This is your story, your moment. Will you remain a supporting character or finally take center stage? What you desire already exists, but it only becomes yours when you tune into the right frequency, make an unwavering decision, and stop being an extra in your own movie. The transformation begins within right now. If anything in this resonated with you, no matter how small, even if you're scared, it's a sign you're ready to move forward. The next video will delve deeper into this journey, a step closer to self-awareness, growth, and freedom. Remember, just 1% better each day is all it takes. Thanks for joining me on this journey. See you in the next video.